you ready to do this?
Every former athlete wishes they could go back.
Love the game. It gave me so much. You have a small window of this thing. Enjoy it.
This is A New Path, a sports podcast, hosted by Peyton Schmitz.
Hello and welcome into the New Path, a sports podcast. And yes, we're back on an audio-only version. Yeah, we've been on video the last few. I know it's crazy, guys, but we're back. We're back in the audio where we first started this off. And today we've got a very special guest, the mayor of Rossford, if you might have heard, one of her popular nicknames. That's right. We got Sammi Mikonowicz on the show here. Sammi, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Super happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. This is awesome. And right here at UT in Rocket Hall at the University of Toledo. How you enjoying the weather lately?
I would prefer if it would stay warm more consistently, but today's a nice day, so we'll take it.
Today is a nice day. So let's just kind of dive into, your athletic career. Everybody knows the college part of it and probably some of the high school part of it too. Mm-hmm. But let's go back to the way early days. How did you first get involved in sports?
Oh, shoot. I think I spent a lot of time when I was really young at my siblings' sporting events. I think they've told me before I was in a pack and play at someone's game. I don't remember, obviously. But no, other than that, I just played a lot in the driveway, down the street with my neighbors. I mean, we tried any sport, soccer, football, pickleball, baseball. Like, we just tried anything. And I feel like that's kind of where it all started before it became more serious, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Did you play a lot of Little League back in the day, or?
I did some softball. I think I did t-ball, coach's pitch. That transition. I know I did soccer. I don't think I started basketball until I was in 4th grade. But no, I definitely played lots of sports.
Lots of sports. Forgot to turn notifications off. Come on, man. What are we doing here today? Yeah, lots of sports. Little softball in there, I heard. Mm-hmm. I was a big baseball guy, so nice to hear that. You ever make it out to Scott Park, catch a softball game?
Nah, I haven't. I need to. I can't wait. I hope they get it back over here on campus.
Yeah, for sure. That would be great. Soccer wasn't always on campus, and they got that over here.
They did.
So, hey, only time will tell. But then into junior high, what was that process like? That's when you, I assume, started basketball full time?
Yeah, so it was 4th grade, I think, was the first year, and then obviously into junior high and everything. It was good, though. I went to All Saints Catholic School in Rossford, so it was a small school. Wasn't not that it wasn't competitive, but it wasn't like some of the other schools out there. But I just played it for fun. My 6th grade year, we were champions of our league conference. I forget what it was, CYO. And then we were again champions 7th grade. And then I think 8th grade year, we were in it for the game, and the team we had played the last 2 years, we played them again the 3rd year, and they got us that last year. So it was all right. I mean, we they got some other girls on the team, and we were like, you've been trying to beat us, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's all about having fun, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. And so moving from junior high into high school, and like I said, mayor of Rossford, if you might have heard that nickname, Rossford High School, 2016 to 2020, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so class of 2020, the COVID year.
The COVID year, yep, that was me.
What was that like?
COVID year, honestly, I was lucky enough basketball didn't impact my COVID year, or COVID didn't impact my basketball. Because we had ended right before. We had lost. So it didn't really affect it. It affected the school part, but basketball-wise it didn't. But high school, I don't know, high school was a big transition. I always said I wasn't good at basketball my freshman and sophomore year. Like, I was not coordinated, like it didn't fit. But I obviously grew into it and became more athletic and kind of just used to, how your body moves and everything.
Right.
But to start off, I was like, I am not good at this. Like, what in the world? I thought about quitting my freshman year. I didn't. I think my parents were they're like, come on now. And I was like, I'm not good. It was a rough start. But obviously it paid off to stick around. So.
Yeah, and talk about paying off. I mean, you were a 4-year letter winner in high school and 3-time all-league honoree. I mean, what was that? The high school sports, especially here in the state of Ohio, everybody takes it so seriously, regardless of what it is. What was that like being here in the city of Toledo?
I mean, it was good. I'm just a competitor, so I just wanted to win everything I played. It didn't matter what it was. I wanted to win, and kind of just worked that way. Worked with that mindset. Practice, games, whatever it was. Just going down with I'm not going to lose this and kind of pull my teammates along. And obviously everything's more fun when you're winning, so that was the goal. But it was nice to then transition here and still be around that community and my family and all of that.
Yeah, I bet that made the transition a little easier, I'm sure. Before we get to the college part of it, though, you did play another sport, at least according to my notes.
Oh, yes.
You played soccer.
I did. Played soccer. Okay, so I was going to go to Cardinal Stritch originally. Went there for a day, and I was like, no, I don't like this. And my mom's like, you only got one other option, and it's Rossford. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So I re-enrolled a couple days before school started, and their athletic director at the time was like, well, do you want to play soccer? And I was like, sure, let's go. And he's like, all right, practice is tonight at 7. And I was like, all right, here I go. So I ran over, got to practice. But no, I started out playing on the field more, and then my junior and senior year, I was the goalie. So I think it kind of helped me with basketball because I got used to my body getting banged up because I was diving for balls and everything. So, but no, soccer was nice. Kept me busy, kept me running and moving and stuff.
Yeah. Would you say it was is basketball your first love then when it comes to sports?
Yeah.
So is soccer number 2? Or not really?
It might have been at the time. I don't know. I've now come to some of the more I like to golf sometimes, which is very random.
Okay.
Soccer, I have a really hard time watching soccer. My parents always said, yeah, it's really hard to watch. And I was like, nah, it's fun. It's fun when you're out there. But, watching it, it feels slower, and it's, you're not scoring as much. And basketball, you're scoring, hopefully, every possession.
Hopefully, yeah.
So it was definitely, I don't know. I guess in the sense of what I've played, yeah, it was my second favorite.
Yeah, yeah. You looking forward to the World Cup?
See, and that's the thing.
Really?
No, I don't. Really? No, I don't even know that much about it, if I'm being honest.
I mean, honestly, I don't know that much either.
Yeah.
I just know it's happening.
My cousin loves it, but I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Well, we'll move past the soccer part of it. You were the second highest GPA at your school in high school.
Yeah.
And I mean, so clearly taking academics seriously, right?
Yeah. I think that's just, I learned that in grade school. I was always super stressed about school, and I'd be so nervous for a test or whatever it was, and I'd make my mom quiz me, my dad quiz me, everyone, and I'd be so nervous, and then come back, and I'm like, oh, I got 98%, and they're like, why were you stressed? And I just couldn't ever, I don't know, so I was always just that way, and just took it very seriously and wanted to get as best of grades as I could, and it just kind of carried me through.
Yeah, it carried you through. Were you a little bummed you didn't get number 1?
No, I wasn't too bummed. I don't like giving speeches.
Okay,
so
okay.
I still had to give one, but there wasn't anybody there, and I was still nervous. There was my family because it was COVID. It was just 4 people, and I was still stressed. So I was happy I didn't have to do at least the top of the top.
Yeah, that's for sure. The COVID process with graduation, I'm sure that was a bummer.
Yeah, it was. It was weird. I don't know, it kind of just felt like high school never really ended, but then also I stopped seeing all of those people abruptly because you couldn't. So it was weird. I don't know. I don't think about it too much anymore. So it's not too bad, but it definitely was when you walk across the stage and there's those 4 people there, it was nice when I graduated this past year from college because it was this is what a real graduation feels like. So it was cool.
At least you got one in there.
I know, one.
Well, speaking of college, right here at the University of Toledo, made your name in Savage Arena, and you were a walk-on, and I don't feel like a lot of people know that about you. I mean, what was that process like with, Trisha Cullip and then later Jenny Bogus?
It was, I don't know, it was weird. I kind of had to just bet on myself. I wasn't heavily recruited, and then partially due to my own, I wanted to stay at home, physically at home. Very much a homebody. I like to be at home around my family and all of that. And so I knew right from the start, I'm I don't want to go stay anywhere. So I had talked to schools like Tiffin, Findlay, but still kind of too far. And so I knew
Yeah.
my only options were basically Toledo, BG, or Owens Community College. And so I was just set to go to Owens because I hadn't really had much Toledo hadn't really reached out that much. So at the beginning of my senior year, I was just like, I'm going to go to Owens, kind of see what happens, like whatever. I just wanted to be done with it, didn't have to think about it, enjoy my last year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until towards the end of my senior year of like basketball, senior season, when Toledo had reached out and their coaches started coming to some games. And I actually committed to them in April, so COVID had already hit. I didn't visit or anything.
Wow. Okay.
My dad had worked in the area, so he was familiar, and he's like, come on, get in the truck. I'll take you for a tour. And then he drove me around, and I was like, thanks, Dad. This is not the tour that I think I would normally get, but perfect. But no, yeah, Coach Cullup had said, she's like, we don't have scholarship available, but, like, we'd love to have you. And I was already planning on going to Owens. Like, I was just like, all right, like, try it out for a year. If you don't like it or if it's too hard, too much, if you can't pay for it, can't work while you're practicing, all of that, I was like, then, adjust from there. And so I was like, let's do it. And we didn't have summer workouts. We did Zoom calls, but obviously with COVID, nobody was there. And then once we got back in August, we started practices, and it was just a couple of weeks, and Coach Cullup was like, I want to jump on a Zoom with you and your family. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And it was when a girl that had been there had decided not to come back, so a scholarship had opened up, and they had decided to give it to me then. So it was early on, but it's still cool just to, go into it. I was just kind of like, I'm going to go in and work as hard as I can. Like, there's nothing else I can really do. And then eventually I got to start. So it was crazy. It was cool.
Yeah. Long, winding process there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have did you ever get like an official tour of campus at all?
No. I did end up coming in the summer because it was like people who were local could come in.
Okay.
And I just remember texting our trainer because, they had to take your temperature, like give you a wristband, you're good for the day, all that stuff. And so you had to wait outside the doors there to get let in. And I was like, I don't even know where I'm going. Like, I just kind of, I had their number so I could call them. But then even just little stuff like getting in the locker room, thankfully there was another local kid here, so she kind of showed me a little bit. But other than that, you just, I don't know, kind of figured it out once classes started. I was like, well, look at the map. Where are we going? So.
Well, you certainly figured it out now. You probably know this campus by the back of your hand now.
Pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, pretty well. Speaking of that time, obviously you talked about, transitioning into a starting role, and you were a big part of the team. 3 straight regular season titles. I mean, talk about that time on those teams with Coach Cullup and some of the other great Toledo Rockets basketball players.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, it was great. I think it's just nice to see the work pay off. Like my freshman year, we were young. I think we started 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen.
Oh, wow.
Right around there, maybe 1 senior. And we finished 8th that year. And I remember near the end of the season, Coach Cullup was like, yeah, like if we win, we might have a chance to make the tournament. And it was like, we almost didn't want to. We were all just like, like we were ready. It was just a long season. Like, didn't have fans. We weren't doing well. And so we weren't looking forward to that. We ended up not making it, so we all finished early anyways. But it's crazy to think then that next year we were champions because it's just like we had the same group of girls for the most part. And just to turn around and have that same group again, it just kind of shows you what that chemistry with those girls, like the belief in your coaching staff to like trust us. It kind of shows what that can do, and then to go on and win it for 3 straight years, like it was a lot of fun. Like those girls are all still my friends, and it's just like it's mostly the stuff off the court too. Like the championships are cool, the accolades are cool, but like the stuff in the locker room and the stuff outside of basketball is what like you're really gonna remember the most.
Right. Yeah. Is there a favorite trip you guys went on? You traveled to a lot of places over your years. I mean, you played for the team for 5 years, so I'm sure there were some fun ones in there.
Well, overall, it'd have to be we went to Greece. That was like our foreign trip. So that one, I think aside from that, maybe when we went to Knoxville, Tennessee, because that was for the NCAA tournament, and we actually won the first round there, and then went on to play against Tennessee. That was probably fun just because of the moment you're playing for, and just getting that win. But definitely overall, definitely Greece. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did you guys do eat any good food there? Did you have a favorite
The
location
Euros.
you visit? Euros.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they were really good. Favorite location? We were in Athens. Went to Santorini for a little bit. Honestly, it was just the water was so blue. Like, it was crazy. I don't know. I've never seen water that blue before. And the weather was super nice the whole time we were there. Overall, just the whole trip, that was fun.
Yeah, fun experiences for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you mentioned that NCAA tournament victory over Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, walk me through that. What was that moment like going out there? You mentioned it was in Knoxville, so SEC Arena.
Oh yeah.
And then you take that team on, but we don't got to talk about that.
Right.
Just you beat Iowa State, beat a Big 12 team.
Yeah. The arena, gorgeous arena, like huge in there. Thankfully, we got to practice beforehand, so we can kind of get that whole, like, walk out with your eyes big, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Kind of got that out beforehand. But honestly, it just goes off to, like, our coaching staff and their game plan they had, and then just the relationships. Like, we trusted the plan they had. Like, they trusted us. Played with some great players, Quenisha Lockett, Sophia Wired, Kira Goss, like, some great players, both Quenisha and Soph were Player of the Years. At 2 different times. And so just trusting each other. And then I think it's just once you start, you get that first beginning out and you see like, oh, okay, we can do this, like kind of just boost your confidence in the moment. But no, it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. I can imagine that. And were you bummed when Coach Cullip left?
Oh yeah, there's definitely some tears. I think I was just bummed. Like, I mean, you have 3 championships in a row. Like, I played for her for 4 years. So I think anyone, like, I would have been just as sad if I had graduated. Like,
right.
And I mean, I'm so happy for her. She's doing great, and I know she'll do great things there and change the program around at Miami just like she did here. But obviously, it was hard when she first left. Just to kind of let it all sink in and be like, all right, it's going to be different. Like, you expect to finish your year with the coach you started with, or finish your career, I should say, with the coach you started with.
Right.
Obviously, in today's world, like, it's not always going to happen, but still was definitely hard.
Yeah, and then Coach Bogus,
Mm-hmm.
did you have any say in her hiring at all? Were you guys involved as a team?
No, so Brian Blair had just they knew we were all like, what's going on? Oh my gosh, had I think 6 seniors that last year, so we were all like, not panicking, but also like, what is happening? And so they kind of just told us, they're like, just like, we need you to trust us, like, just give it a couple days, just trust us, like, we're gonna hire someone. And that's kind of what we did, and we knew that no matter what, we were gonna experience something new. Whether we stayed or we left, it was gonna be different, it was gonna be new, things would change. And so we kind of went into it like, well, if we stay together, like as seniors, then at least we have some, sense of familiarity with each other. We can go through it together. And so that's kind of the mindset we took, which is crazy now, especially with transfer portal days, that you can even get 6 people like that to just kind of lean against each other and be like, all right, let's do it together. But no, they left us out of that, and we all trusted that they were going to find someone that would fit.
Yeah, and then it ended up being Jenny Bogus, and she was your head coach for your final season here at Toledo and made a run to the MAC tournament championship game.
Mm-hmm.
What was that final year like, knowing it was your last time wearing the midnight blue and gold?
It was hard at times. It wasn't obviously you had to learn a new system. I do think I grew a lot because Coach Bogus had a lot of trust and saw more skill in me probably than I saw in myself. I had obviously had Soph and Q that were kind of like our leading scorers, top guy in the team, and I was okay with that. And so when Coach Bogus got here, she saw that I had the ability to do that, but like I was like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't do that. And she never put it into words that way, but like she always wanted me to take more shots, and she's like, no, you can do this, you can do that. And I was like, oh, like, okay, I will. But like, and so it was definitely hard just to transition to more of a scorer that last year, but she had all the confidence in me, and it was mostly just me needing to have confidence in myself. Yeah. And I think it definitely came out at times during the year. And her and I had lots of conversations about it being the last year, because I think sometimes it kind of like held me back, just in the sense of like I was thinking about like all these lasts that were happening, and she didn't want me. She's like, I don't want you to think about that. Like, you just need to go out and like just play, like have fun. This is a sport you love. And like we kind of made, I think the beginning of January so we just started MAC play. I think we had lost to NIU. I know we had sat down and it was kind of like, we're not going to talk about it. Like, let's just stop thinking about it. Right. And I think that was the best thing for me, because it would have ruined it more if I was constantly thinking like, oh, I'll never do this again. I'll never do this. I'll never do it, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, she was super supportive, saw a lot in me that I didn't see in myself. Wish I could still keep playing. I now still practice against the girls sometimes, and she always jokes. She's like, oh, why didn't you do that last year? And I'm like, okay, I understand. But no, it was a good year. I wouldn't change it either.
Yeah, and speaking of that process, being on the other side of things, the decision to be a GA here, what was that like?
So at the start of my 5th year, last year playing with Coach B, I was in student teaching. I had to do one more semester of student teaching for early childhood education, and I started, and I was like, no, like, and I don't know if it was how busy it kept me with basketball, but I just didn't love it. Like, it wasn't something that I woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm excited. Like, I want to go do this. I obviously wish it would have hit me a little bit sooner. I'd already wasted four years of college, and I have no degree, and I was about to not have another one. So I was really, really, really scared, because I was like, is she going to make me do this? Like, do I have to, I don't know. Am I even able to switch this? Am I just going to have to figure out how to do this? And it was also hard because I was showing up to practice like 15 minutes before, and like you miss that like locker room time, training room time, which is, like I said, where all those memories happen. And like I just didn't like missing that. But no, I had talked to her the first week of school, and I was like, Coach, I got to switch my major. Like, is this possible? And she was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, really? I just thought you're a semester away, like just get it done. But I really didn't want to. And so thankfully I switched my major, but I didn't have many options because I needed to graduate by the spring. So I just switched it to general studies just to get the degree.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I was like, all right, I need to do something. I obviously didn't want to teach anymore. I don't really know what I want to do officially yet, but I was like, I really love basketball. My body's kind of worn from it, and I was like, I knew that I, as much as I want to play, like it just wouldn't be good for the body to keep wearing and tearing on it. And so this is the next thing that I was like, this will keep me around sports. I think eventually in life I'll coach, whether it's, down the road, younger kids, or junior high, high school, college. I think I love basketball enough, and that's kind of why I was like, if I'm a GA, like I get to stay around the sport, learn the other side of it from, the coach's eyes, and then hopefully one day down the road, coach something of some sort at whatever level it might be. So that's kind of why I was like, oh, I'll be a GA. And then I also wanted to get, I want to get another degree instead of just general studies.
Yeah.
It's a degree, but like I just would feel more comfortable having something else. So I just get a master's.
Yeah. Hey, why not? Why not? Right. So we kind of went over the transition there from end of college to being a GA real quick there. But what was that process like for you personally, realizing, your final game, it's in Cleveland at Rocket Arena, and you realize this is it? What was that like?
I mean, I think we played you had to play like this is all you have. You have to leave everything out there. And it was definitely very, very emotional once the final buzzer did go off there. We held on to a little bit of hope because we knew we had a chance to play at least in the WBIT. We knew it was going to be close, but we also knew it was a chance. But anytime we've lost in Cleveland, it's hard to win there. I've only won one in my 4 years playing there.
Yeah.
And the 2 years that we lost there, even though we knew we still had a chance to keep playing, it was still emotional because it's still like, obviously that's what you're working for, is that tournament championship. But when we lost there against Ball State, it was, I would just say, very emotional. I honestly didn't think we were done. I didn't realize until after the fact how close we were from not making the WBIT, but thankfully we got to play one more game.
Yeah.
So we played Minnesota. We got to play them at home. We were supposed to go there, but they had some event, and so that was even another big blessing because it was like we got to play Minnesota at Savage Arena. So it was nice to have another home game that you just didn't expect to have.
Yeah, got to kind of leave your final game at home. That's not a lot of things that happen in basketball often. You're playing at some neutral site arena, wherever, or something like that.
Yep. So that was, the fans are great. Obviously, we would have loved to pull it off. We didn't. We were close there. It was nice to have it at home, though, because a lot of times in the past, you kind of end your season and you're with your team, but, you don't really see your family until the next day because, we travel home, and so we got to go catch the bus or get on a flight. And so a lot of years in the past, Knoxville, I got to see my family briefly, but then they go home. We wake up the next morning, we travel home. Or one year we ended in Washington, and so they didn't even get to go. So it was kind of nice to be at home. I didn't want to lose, but it was almost nice that we did lose there because it was just overall, your whole career, I just went up to the stands and just, cried like a little baby into my parents' arms. They got to watch all those years and just kind of experience with me right there. So it was just as emotional for them as me, same thing. But it was nice just to, go up there and just see everybody. I've had all these fans here my entire career, and so it wasn't just them, my siblings, grandparents, all of that, just people from Rossford even, everywhere. So kind of glad it did end in Savage Arena looking back now. Didn't want it to, but yeah.
Right. No, for sure. And you've got a lot of experience under your belt. Do you have any advice out there for athletes that are, coming to the end of their journey, whether it's high school or junior high, maybe college? What would you say to them?
I would just say, soak in every moment. If it's your last year, first year, whatever it is, don't take any moment for granted. I don't know. You don't get those moments back. There really is nothing like it. Coach Culp used to always tell us the second greatest thing, the best thing is to play, but the second greatest thing to playing is coaching. And I can totally see what she means by that, because it is a different feeling when you're experiencing it from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah. And
even in games this year as a GA, I want to celebrate in those moments with them, but I have to be Sammi, you're not a player anymore. And so just soak in every moment. Don't look back and be oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. You just have to, as hard as it is, as annoying as it might be at times, kind of give it your all and just trust the process.
Trust the process. It's a common theme across this show. We've had athletes all the way from, Major League Baseball to just played in high school, and they all say a very similar, it's I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would change about any of your athletic journey, or are you okay with it too?
No, I think I am okay with it. I don't regret it. I think every hard time led to every good time. And I would do it over again in a heartbeat. Even though I wasn't heavily recruited, any of that, I would do it over right away if I could. So definitely trust it, because it has a good end in sight. It might not feel like it, but there is a good end coming. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite moment from this past season as a GA?
Ooh, I think it was our conference tournament. Honestly, it was a year full of adversity for the girls, and for us as well as the staff. And so just kind of, it was like a roller coaster. And so when we got to that conference tournament and they came out that first game, it was just a different type of energy.
Yeah.
And when we won that first one, we won that second one, just how they were playing, it was kind of I was ooh, that's I could see myself out there. And so just to see that again, it was like they're right there. And I think this year I'm really excited because they know what that feels like now. And so they can go back and hopefully get another championship.
Yeah. Can you peel the curtain back on anything?
No, I shouldn't. No, we're excited, though. We got it. We lost Patricia, so we'll have to replace her. Obviously, she was a huge part of the team, but they're all putting in really good work. And I don't know, I'm excited. It's kind of fun. I've played with some of them. Destiny Robinson was injured this past year, and she's starting to get back. And so it's just good to see, her finally back out there. And then Eva, I played with her, And now watching her grow, like she's gonna be a junior. It's just kind of crazy. It moves really quickly, but it's gonna be good. I think it'll be a fun year.
Be a fun year, and we're looking forward to see it here at UT. You big social media person, Sammi?
I'm not on there a lot, but if you want to follow me, I'll let you. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, X. I guess it's X. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah, me too.
Those are probably the biggest ones, though. It might be under Sammy Fosgate.
Oh, yeah,
I got
congratulations.
married, so yeah,
Congratulations.
Sammy_Fosgate for Instagram. That's probably the biggest one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Congratulations on that, by the way.
thank you.
Yeah. So, Sammi, thank you so much for coming in. This has been great. New Path podcast listeners, we've got probably maybe one more episode after this, or maybe this is the final one. I don't know. You're going to find out when we release it. But, Sammi, thanks so much for coming in, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, everybody. Hey, everybody. If you're seeing this, well, you just watched the final episode of Season 2 of the New Path of Sports podcast with Sammi Mikonowicz, the mayor of Rossford herself. Thank you guys so much for joining me along the way. It's been a great time here going over athletic journeys of Jay Schroeder, Carlton McGrady, my father, Bill Schmitz, and a few other people along the way. It's been an exciting time, and this may be goodbye for the final time. We'll see. I am graduating here in a couple weeks, so we'll see if I pick this up in the future. But if I don't, thank you all so much for joining me along the way. Wouldn't be possible without a few people. I've got to give them a shout out. First off goes to Michelle Schmitz for doing our intro voiceover. If you might have heard her introduce me, well, that was her voice. So shout out to my sister, and shout out to Jess Delaney for directing all of our video episodes here at the University of Toledo inside of our studio. Wouldn't be possible without Jess. All the mics, all the technical work, that's all because of her. And this podcast has grown a lot because of her. Also want to shout out Tisha Mays, my faculty advisor here at the University of Toledo. She gave me the idea when I was in her class, and without her, this would not be possible. Thank you to all of our guests from Jay Schroeder in episode 1 all the way to Sammi Mikonowicz in the final episode you just watched. Thank you guys so much. Where am I off to next? Well, I'm headed to the Windy City. Gonna go work for the Chicago White Sox, and we'll see where my journey goes. But thank you for joining me along the way, and have a great day, everybody. And as always, go Rockets.